To me, if you are in a relationship and you find that you are losing your identity, then that is a red flag right there, to me.
Hi, welcome back to our channel.
Hi, I'm Susie.
And I'm Vanessa. I'm Ness. And this is
Mom and Daughter Talk,
where we hope to inspire,
encourage,
and uplift your mother-daughter relationships. Wow. It's interesting. I just realized we say we're here to encourage, inspire, and uplift your mother-daughter relationships. But I feel like we've evolved so much since we started this that our topics aren't necessarily geared towards mother-daughter relationships like they used to be. Because we've been doing this for like over a year and a half now. And yeah, we don't have specific topics on mom and daughter.
Yeah, I think we started out that way, but at the same time, I think the core of it will always be mother and daughter because you are a daughter and I am a mother. So I think given our experiences and our generations and our perspectives in life, we'll always have that input. You know what I mean? From a daughter's perspective and a mother's perspective. But no, it's true. I think just like we talked about growth recently, you know what I mean? Our YouTube channel has grown. Yeah. I love it.
Okay, well, that was well said. Okay, never mind. So today, thank you for joining. Today we're going to talk about
heartbreak.
Thank you. Okay, today we're going to talk about how to healthily heal after heartbreak. Because this kind of came in my mind because honestly, in the past, I want to say couple months, there have been a handful, if not two handfuls, of people in my life who have gone through heartbreak. And it's like, it's really sad to see. And heartbreak is not fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, I give advice as I can. My last heartbreak was like 4 years ago, I would say. But I don't know. I feel like it would be good to give the advice, not just for believers, but also for non-believers, because I don't think there's a lot of even content or people who you can go to. And sometimes people don't know what to say. So I want to ask you first, what would you say, what would you tell somebody who is going through a heartbreak and they want to heal, but like, or don't even know that they need to heal? Like, what would you say the first thing that they should do is?
I think anytime that you come out of a relationship, and it was disappointing, or like you said, it was the result of it was that your heart was broken, that you need to stop and take pause. I think it's really, really dangerous to experience a heartbreak and then go right into a similar situation. Not that the next one will be a heartbreak, but I just think you need time on your own. I would say, like, if you were a sentence, you need a comma. Otherwise, you'd be a run-on sentence. You know what I mean? With no punctuation in between. Yeah. And I think that comma or that space is so needful because it's a place of reflection. You know, like, for instance, for me, I mean, I went through a divorce. And so at that time, right after the divorce, I'm not going to be running around trying to date somebody or whatever. I need to take pause. Something went wrong. You know what I mean? It was a death to a dream, death to different things. And so I need to make sure that I can reflect and learn and glean from that versus running into something right away. So that would be my first advice. Take pause. Absolutely take pause.
That's good. Definitely take pause. A second thing I would tell somebody is really like find yourself again, because when you're in a relationship, you lose your identity because you're like sharing it now with somebody else. And I feel like when you are now that person who you were so used to, you're with them all the time, talking to them all the time. Hopefully they're, you know, your best friend because you shared a lot of things with them. I know there's some relationships today where they still don't, you know, it's a buddy thing. So, but if that's split and like X is a harsh kind of thing because it's like they were there one day and now they're completely gone the next. So I think it's good to take a beat and then also like reflect on what did I enjoy before I even was with you? What did I enjoy? What did I like to do? What were my hobbies? And kind of just dive back into that and kind of rediscover yourself. as well.
Interesting when you said, though, as far as losing your identity. To me, if you are in a relationship and you find that you are losing your identity, then that is a red flag right there, to me.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone should lose their identity in any kind of relationship. I think
Right.
it should be something where, and again, that's where you need to pause and say, am I losing myself in this relationship? Is that,
Yeah.
are we melting into one and now we're asymbiotic? I don't think that's necessarily healthy. I think it's a matter of really knowing who you are individually, each person, and then coming together and be exponentially great, you know? But that is a good way to kind of, find a litmus test, like, am I losing myself in this?
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. And that's interesting. That's a good perspective, because it's like, that's something that you should know or think about before you jump into any relationship. But many people nowadays, we do not. Like, people don't do that. So it's like, you kind of already didn't really know yourself, or the things that where you wanted to be in life, you might not necessarily be there. And I know the mindset a lot of times is, well, they can help me. They can make me better. Like, I can do it with somebody else, then we'll be a partnership. And, culture and relationship goals, it's always changing. And so I know that's obviously like something that has kind of also blinded us as people, because it's like, I don't have to be whole to be in a relationship. They can help me get to where I'm at. But unfortunately, if that relationship does not work out and you are not becoming better like you thought they would make you better, now you're in a situation where, dang, like, I didn't really know myself before. So now I done spent 6 months, a year, 2, 3, 4, hopefully not 10. But now I have to go back and find me. And that's now even a longer process because the work wasn't done before you got into a relationship. And I think that boundaries, boundaries, we don't talk about boundaries enough. And I know we don't talk about it enough because ain't nobody talking about it in the culture. And it's not cute. It's not popular. We don't want to,
Give me some practical examples of boundaries. What do you mean by that?
A practical example, like, first, I need to know what season I am in. Like we said, if I don't know my identity yet, then, or if I don't know like what I even like, if I don't know what my triggers are, if I don't know like where I want to be in 2 years, if I'm not in the career field that I want yet, if I like certain things are not established and in order for me to be able to support somebody else, and I'm not just talking financially, I'm talking men and women, support them emotionally, financially,
mentally,
mentally, like all this stuff. If you're not in a space to do that yet, my boundary would be, oh dang, he kind of cute. Oh, he asked me out. Honestly, like, I'm not really in a space to date right now, because if thinking forward, if this does potentially go somewhere, like, I'm still trying to support myself. I'm trying to learn me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, because now I don't want to get your heart involved, and I don't want to mess you up. I'm already messed up myself. That's a boundary. Like, and that's just practically saying that. And we don't really do that enough, I feel.
Yeah. So it's really knowing, like I said, yourself first, to know what kind of boundaries to even set.
Yes.
Because if you know, like, for instance, I know you're in a very busy season right now between work and school and this and the other. It's like there really kind of isn't enough time or room for another relationship. I know you said to me. So that's good, knowing where you are, so you know how to navigate in this season.
Yeah. And sticking to it, because it's like one thing you can set boundaries. Another thing, you got to follow through with them, okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
And another,
No, go
real
ahead.
quick, another boundary could be, if somebody asks you for your number, you don't have to say yes. I've been seeing in movies recently, like, somebody asked somebody for their number and they're like, okay. And in the movie, we know the backstory of their life. Like, you should not be giving nobody your number right now because you trying to find you. And I was like, well,
give yourself your own number.
If he or she could have just said no, you wouldn't have opened the gates to Pandora's box. But a lot of people don't know or also know, but would rather be like, nah, I'm gonna find my happiness with somebody, which I get that. I get that, but
Yeah, and we always talk about if you don't know the purpose of a thing, you will abuse it. And in light of what you're saying about seasons, if you don't know the purpose of your season, then you'll abuse that time. Yeah. It's not just about even abusing people or things like that, but really that allotted time, you know what I mean? That you are to accomplish what you're supposed to in that season. If you don't, then the season will come back around again, but it's kind of like taking a class and not passing it, then you got to take it again. You know what I mean?
Until you pass.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks. Just get it right the first time. Try to at least.
That's good. But yeah, that's for the practical. I mean, practical and spiritual, they also can go and should go hand in hand.
I think actually spirituality is very practical. Meaning, like, if you can't take the principles of God or things that are spiritual and apply it practically to life on this earth, then something went awry. You know, not all the time, because sometimes God will, tell you things and it seems very against common sense or radical or just something that you would have never thought. There are times like that, but more than not, it's usually practical.
Can you give me an example, like, of something that's spiritual and you can take that and practically put it into place?
Okay, so for instance, something that's out of the norm would be like, if you really feel impressed, the Lord is telling you to move to another state, and you never even thought about that. If the Lord's like, move to Missouri, right? And it's like, Missouri, I've never even been there. But you really feel like that's where you should be or that's where you should go. Okay. Then by faith, going, kind of like Abraham, the Lord said, go this way, you know what I mean? And he went, and then and there was a promise attached to that. So again, that's not practical, but it's a spiritual thing, and he obeyed, right? And what was the second part of the question?
So you're saying take the faith spiritually and then practically move to Missouri.
No. Meaning there are times where it'll seem very impractical because I don't have a job in Missouri. I've never been to Missouri. I have no family or any kind of connection to Missouri, but I feel like the Lord is telling me to do it. Then you have to obey. So that's an impractical part. But on the flip side, forget Missouri, but a practical thing could be like, I want this type of job. I really feel like, engineering or something is something that I really want to do. A practical thing could be get online and see what's available. You know what I mean? Rather than just sitting at home thinking someone's going to come and say, hey, would you like to work for our company? We're an engineering firm. No, get on there and do your due diligence.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean as far as practical and not practical.
Okay. I still don't really get it, but I hope somebody out there gets it.
Oh my God.
So
we'll talk after the show.
Yeah. Enlighten me, because went a little over my head.
Okay.
But spiritually too. So how to healthily heal after a heartbreak. I know what I'm gonna say, but go ahead.
No, you go.
Okay, so I'm gonna go first. Tag me in. So I think, oh my gosh. Okay, so if I'm talking to my friend right now, okay, girl, dang, you just went through a heartbreak. Oh my gosh, but she's a believer. I'm gonna be like, girl, if you don't dive into your purpose, like you ain't never dived into something before, like your focus now has to be on bettering you and your like future and like what Christ is asking of you, because we're always in different seasons, and so God will have us to put our hands and feet to something. Always, like we, he ain't just gonna be like, well, I have nothing for you today. Like there's always something to do. And so I think just getting with God, getting in your word, getting advice from, older people too, who know God, or even friends, who can really help you in what you're going through. But just diving into purpose, get to know, why am I on this earth? Why was I born? Like, and once you get into that, you will discover passions you never knew you had. You will start to discover different paths that God will have you take that you never thought you would or could take before. And you just start focusing on that. That is beautiful. And a prayer that I would tell my friend to pray: Lord, give me the strength to walk away and the peace to stay away. Because I think we walk away from relationships, but we're just as gung-ho to get back into one, especially if it's an ex who tries to come back and they broke up with you. So it's like, give me peace to stay away, peace to where I'm not even looking for it. I don't want it. It didn't work, and that's okay. That's no knock on my value.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I can't go back to that, Yeah,
no, that's very good. Absolutely. Yeah. I think if you are a believer, One of the things I think is, if you could call it an advantage, is that you have a connection to the one that created you. So you have someone that knows you better than you know yourself. And so I know times that I've experienced heartbreak, I just go and cry before God. And I ask for wisdom, and I say, I know that you knew from the foundations of the world that this would happen, so it's not a surprise to you. And I need your wisdom and your direction and your healing. And that's the thing, is that he's the healer. So I love that I have someone that I can run to that knows me more than I know myself. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's good. I get really passionate about this topic. Oh my gosh.
Also, too, I know I've experienced in life where one time when I felt heartbroken, the Lord told me that I would heal you on your feet. So when I heard that, I was like, heal me on my feet. So that means that I'm not sitting down, that I'm doing something. And so what I did was I knew to serve and to give out of myself. And so I got back on the worship team and just started serving. And really, I kid you not, it felt like the healing happened exponentially because I think I was obedient to what he said, but then also it didn't even give me enough time to just wallow in it. And again, there's time for reflection, and I did that as well. But I knew that if I didn't give of myself and move beyond myself, that it could have gotten into just really introspection and in the name of being insightful, really just kind of imploding in myself. So I'm glad that I was able to give out of myself. So that's something too, to give out to others even when you're hurting.
And that's a good point when it comes to like taking a pause and a beat, like you said earlier. There should always, I feel, be a pause and a beat when it comes to grieving or crying or reflecting on what happened.
Yeah.
Not like, because I know before I would reminisce and I would think about that person, and you think about all the good times and oh my gosh, I miss them. But like now, since I've grown too, especially in the Lord, like I would take that and I would cry about it, and I would think about, okay, what are the lessons that I could learn and I could take from that relationship?
Yeah.
Like not all is lost. Like there's some things that I have to grow in because in my next relationship, like I want to make sure I'm better than I was in this one.
Yeah.
So there's always a beat also before like just diving into purpose, because you don't be diving into purpose or, doing what you're doing and then you crying every day and somebody's like, are you okay? I'm just going through it. Like go through it in your private time with the Lord first.
Yeah.
And then you put some feet to it.
Yeah. But for me too, like being around other believers and having people like pray for me and different things like that, that helped me a lot too. So community is really good too. Yeah.
Yes. And I would just say, like, because I experienced a friend of mine who went through a heartbreak, and the way that they handled it, I was like, I have never even seen that. So even just being around believers and seeing how they may handle it on a spiritual level, like that for me just opened my eyes just seeing it. And like talking to them, like, here and there, like a week or two out, and I'm like, dang, you've been healing. Like, what have you been doing? I've never experienced that. What does that look like?
Wow.
Like, you're not looking for another relationship right now?
Yeah,
like you're in church? Like you're worshiping? Like I've never seen that before. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right. Well, heartbreaks, they do come, but you also can heal, and those wounds will be mended. God came to heal the brokenhearted. So you're never alone. And I'm pretty sure there's nothing new under the sun. So I'm pretty sure someone else has gone through a heartbreak as well. And just be wise about who you talk to and ask for advice from in your healing process.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah. All right. See you next time. Bye.
All right. Take care. God bless. Bye.
We're done.